that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. I decided to come on and do a early afternoon live here. This does not interfere with our 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live. So if you're wondering about that, come back as always for our typical live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's just sometime depending on the market structure and setup and the flow. I will do a preemptive live sometime early afternoon, and it will give us 2 lives today. So I decided to come on because XRP is pushing out of the short-term formation. This signal now is confirmed with the breach and breakout and hold of this formation that we're in right here. And this would confirm the move that is an 18% rally from when we got back over 61 cents, as everybody knows, and held this area on the back test at 59.5. Our technical target out of that hold is an 18% roughly rally up to about the 75.7 cent mark. We've done nothing to make, or not seven, well, our current rally for the day is 18%. But if you're going from the bottom, it's like 27, 28%. But from the rally where we're starting to go from after we had the consolidation and now we pushed out, where we were targeting here was roughly an 18% move from 63 cents up is about, actually it's about 19%, but we're anticipating at least an 18% move after getting on top of 63 cents. That's the bottom line. The bottom line is here, we're anticipating an 18% total move. We've only got about 3% of it on the breakout and confirmation that we've had now at a hold and close over 63 cents. We had that yesterday, and now we're trying to work off of this. XRP on the day is up 1.5 cents. But as of right now, it's up 2.45%. It's retraced a little bit here. In the 30-minute, we were oversold. So now we're doing the prototypical consolidation. If you want to see what led to this as we're going through the intro real quick, and then I'll do what we need to do in the technical analysis, talk to everybody. But this is what we talked about yesterday. This is the very big resistance here because it's the cup and handle. This is the handle formation on a cup. And this is the first tier. So this is more the body of the resistance. So you can always go up to the wicks as we have in green. The wick is in green. That's how you confirm the breakout of this handle. The short term, though, we have the body that comes through here, more through the body areas. And that's the lower resistance. Anytime we get rejected there, it gives us the ability, as history proved, rejected here, all the way down here to the bottom of the handle at about 45. Rejected here, back down to the bottom of the handle here at 49. Rejected here. Now for the first time, we didn't break all the way down. We've created the expansion area now. Now we've closed over 63 cents. Now that opens up the door for an 18% rally, 17 to 18, up to that 74, 75 cent area now. The moment you get over that 75 cents and hold, that's the handle breakout. This is a very bullish setup. It's a very bullish setup. That's why I said if you're selling in the handle, it's dangerous. Because you should be selling if we break down the bullish cup and handle. If we lose 50 cents and get rejected, well, yeah, that's a big opportunity to short the market because we failed. That would just mean all the pressure we built up on the handle after a very long bout to try to build the cup would have been a waste because we would have too much downward pressure and then it pours out the handle, which about 15% of the time that'll happen. But as of right now, we're in a very bullish setup. We're 85% chance to go to $1.21. That's what this is telling us. 85% chance we're going to $1.21 in time. And you get that by measuring the size of the handle, and then you get a technical target. Now, the cool thing about this live again here today is the Great Falling has sent in his updated chart, so I don't even have to show any deeper with the handle anymore, as I like to show my audiences their due diligence. I like to share with the audience. So as we get going here, and if the Great Falling's in here, I don't know because I haven't checked anything yet as far as who's watching and things like that. But we're absolutely going to save this stuff here, and we're going to go through this together now. I would keep it on here, but I really don't want to, not that they care, but I don't really want to have everybody's stuff just pulled up here. They send me emails and whatever. And I feel privileged that the audience does do that, and they include me in. So let's see. You know what? I should have just saved it, I think, to the drive now that I think about it. Yep. Whatever. I can just pull it back up like this. I'll just keep it like this, and then we'll go through it after because I'm not showing anything else. So, but that's going to be a really cool thing to see. He's reformulated this new part of the handle, showing his expected support. He gives us all the reasons why here as well. We'll go through this from the Great Falling as we get through the technical analysis, but it'll be a great way to bounce what he's seeing off of what we see. And it's always cool to have a correlation with the audience. Like, there's nothing I appreciate more than somebody sending me their own chart to try to help us in our endeavor to the next step here in the analysis. And if you have anything to share, strutrugali@gmail.com. strutrugali@gmail.com. That's strutrugali@gmail.com if you want to send me your own chart that possibly can find its way on the air if it is relevant to what we're doing here. Which everybody who sent me a chart, transparency, I've shown on the lives or in the updates. So now with Bitcoin, we're up over 70,000. We talked about the bottoming pattern, which we'll get into on the bottoming of that support, where we thought 60,690 was the bottoming of this formation. We circled it. We put up a technical target to 73,621. And I'll go over every reason why I think that is going to happen and why we came to the conclusion before many that we had bottomed again. So with that being said, please make sure that like button so YouTube will recommend this live. This is at a completely random time when everybody's at work on Monday afternoon. So whoever comes in here, I'm blessed. I don't know how many people will be in here, but please make sure that like button so YouTube recommends this live so that when others are going through their feed, our content pops up. So if you log on to YouTube and you're scrolling through the feed, you're a heck of a lot more likely to come watch the content. If it's not showing up, out of sight, out of mind, you're like, well, he's probably not done an update. So please help me out in hitting that like button so YouTube will recommend this live. And if you're looking to trade XRP, look in the video description below and or pinned comments. Even if you're just looking to add a bag or add something to it, and you're on an exchange that's charging a lot in fees like Uphold for us in the USA, BITUNIX, we did a comparison the last 2 days. If we bought $1,000 worth of XRP, we were getting hindered by about 51 XRP on average when we bought on Uphold compared to BITUNIX, which comes out to about $37 in, $37 out. So that's 7.4% on a $1,000 trade, even if you're not down. So that's why it's important to go to an exchange like BITUNIX when you're adding to your bag. Even if you trust Uphold the store, just send it via XRP Ledger over. There's no reason to just buy it from Uphold if you can cheap it, way cheaper. Lowest spot leverage trading fees in the United States and Canada from what I'm hearing now. And you don't need to have a VPN. KYC is up to you. As long as you don't send it to or from a bank account, you don't even need to do that. So I'm putting that out there in the beginning. Click on that pinned comment. And then if you're interested in XRPH, as I brought to the attention of everybody, and I'm very excited about it, we've been buying it from 19, 21, 24, 22, 21. I did not get 17. But I've been trying to push this on everybody. It's a 100 million total circulating supply. And it's part of the ledger. This is XRP Healthcare. It's a digital healthcare / pharmacy that they're innovating now in the ledger to meet demand. That's going to happen between now and 2031 when you come to the virtual markets. Now, when you come to we're not going into the doctors or the pharmacies anymore. We're doing it virtually. And this is the next step in that whole thing. I waited to tell everybody about this for about 4 months from when I actually wanted to talk about it at the end of last year, only because we were in such a downward pattern. A lot of people started talking about this on YouTube, and it did us a disservice, not because they gave the word, but because they stopped talking about it when it tanked. A lot of people, when I first found out, I seen them putting it onto YouTube around April and May of last year. It was right around Mother's Day last year, but it was at 13, 14 cents. And you could see that it had a long ways to go. I decided to wait before I made my first buy. And I almost did here, I must say. But it never gave me I always call it the expanding pattern, or this is the expanding zone. So when you expand like this, the expansion zone, this is where you have your first chance of breaking out. Not only have you had the longevity of the pattern, so it told us what the actual pattern was on this monthly candle. Now it's got the extension out, which means this is our first chance to break out of this formation. A breakout of this gets you up to like 5.8 cents. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but when I buy stuff, I like to buy it in the expansion zone and then back down if it breaks down, because then it would give me 1.9 to 2.4. I don't buy it anywhere over that 2.4 though. Now where it's at, I won't buy it. I've got almost 21,000 tokens, but if it comes back down anywhere below 2.5, I'll buy. Anywhere below 2.5. And then especially if it breaks this 1.9, if I get an opportunity at 1.4, I'm going to jump out the roof. I'll be so happy. But in the expansion zone, this looks like a reversal in the monthly. This very well could be the big play here up. And yeah, you're going to hear a lot more about me talking about XRP healthcare because I think it's a diamond in the rough. I hear a lot of people sharing a lot of things about the Stellar Network and some of these other ones. It's time for us to find one on the XRP ledger that's backed by name even with XRP, even though Ripple doesn't own it. It's a very interesting one as there's only 100 million circulating supply. The field it's in and the fact 54 million are already spoken for. That's on MEXC is where I found it. New users in the USA can't buy it unless they use a VPN because you can't sign up on MEXC. But if you have an account from before with us, make sure you look there because that's where I'm buying it. And I'm very happy to have it because XRP's been stuck. But, you know, the only thing I regret is while I was on my vendetta with the XRP healthcare, I completely forgot about YXP when it came down to 7 cents. We could be up 25% on that too, is when I shared it. For the gaming token, same with Gala, I missed it at 5.2 because I was paying attention to the healthcare. But I'm very excited about this one. I mean, if anybody even understands that, and somebody has shown me how you can stake it and get 25% per year. So that's pretty interesting as well. I haven't done it yet, but Jason is, you know, been trying to help me with that. So hopefully once I get that going, I can share that. So anyhow, let's get to this. Wow. 128 people. There is no way right now at this time we have that many people. Holy smokes. Oh, they're not paying me, my friend. I'm telling you at the beginning how to trade XRP. I do it 1 or 2 times during my live, or I do it at the end of my thing. They don't have to pay me to talk about it. I'm not getting paid by them to talk about it. If you think I'm getting a monthly sponsorship or something, that's absolutely false. I wouldn't take money to talk about something. I talk about it because I've saved a fortune on it, and I think everybody who trades in my community would want to know how to do it. That's why I talk about it. Anyhow, George, welcome in. I appreciate you tuning in, but let me timestamp this very quickly. Good early afternoon. 1:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, March 25th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on here in the comments real quick. George, I appreciate you being in from work. Glad we were able to talk before the live in the comments. Mia, welcome in. Jason Setta, good afternoon, and thank you for helping me out with that XRP Healthcare, the wallet, so that I could get a better understanding. He says it costs 12 XRP to activate. Interesting. Very interesting. That's just like the ledger. You take a few XRP so that you can have it activated. Same. Let's see here. Jason, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Kat D, welcome in. She says, great call. Your thoughts on a retest of a breakout. We will definitely talk about the retest of the breakout as well, because that is a possibility right here that we could back test the pattern resistance as support now. And it actually could be supported because we had a volatile break up from 61. Actually, we were all the way down at like 59.4 cents. So we've already rallied some here. So we'll take a look at that for sure. Crypto Bob, welcome in. I appreciate you tuning in. We'll look at XDC while we're on this live as well, as XDC is undervalued once again. It's up 4.2% today now, which is nice to see. But we'll definitely look at that. Matt Holden, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Mark Caston, welcome in, and I appreciate you continuing to show support here by showing up to the lives. UK Phil, good evening, or good afternoon, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Alessandro, welcome in. I'm glad to see you back here again as well. Jorge, Mario, and Wawa, welcome in. Hit that like button for luck, Wawa says, indeed. Alessandro says smash the likes early. Yes. Please do. It does help me out tremendously. Will Rob, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. That is my face superimposed on there. You better believe it. Roman, welcome in. I hope you're having a blessed afternoon, my friend. Kyle Kupiak, thank you for continuing your support in Tom's Army. I don't even know how many months you're on now, but I greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. The Great Fallen, welcome in, and thank you so much for that updated chart here. We'll be showing that as well. So I appreciate that, but we'll be coming back to you, Great Falling, as I get into those charts that you sent me. Catholic Faith Channel, and don't forget to give thanks to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ here on this beautiful Monday morning, the day after Palm Sunday. Amen. How long would it take to go over $1 this run or next? Well, if we break out of the bullish handle, the technical target's $1.20 area. So not very long, but we have to get over the bullish handle. So that resistance is around that 75-cent mark. The moment you break that and hold, you also break over that 77-month resistance. So you would be very bullish in the short term once we get over that 77-month consolidation area, which is our target right now on this move up. Assuming that we don't fail a back test if it comes, our technical target right now would push us over the 77-month resistance. And then once you back test that, we already know we have a technical target. Breaking out of the handle, which happens to be on the top side, right where you break out of this bullish handle, it lines up exactly with the 77-month resistance. So if you use it as a support, your technical target's $1.21. But honestly, the technical target out of a 77-month consolidation, if it plays true, because we haven't measured, is $1.97. So you still got to go through a lot of resistance, but it's going to happen quick once it starts happening if it plays true. We have to say if because not every time it plays true. 15 times here out of 100 or 150 out of 1,000, you're going to have this breakdown. Not great odds to break down, but nonetheless, the odds are there, so I have to at least speak of them. Sean Crothers, welcome in, my main man from Maine. Appreciate that. Appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, I promote the exchange because it can save us money. I was sick of Uphold being down on high times of volatility, not that I don't like it. And I'm sick of getting charged an arm and a leg. So I don't see anything wrong with telling people in the USA how to find it cheaper. And without a lot of restriction. Harley, welcome in. It actually took me 10 months to talk about it, if you remember. I wouldn't do it back last July until I seen a proven record. Codizer, welcome in. Let's see. Marvin, Alessandro, welcome. Anyone stake USDC for 5%? I don't use Coinbase, so not me. But if somebody else has any info, I'd love to hear it. Louville, welcome in, and thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. He says, hey, sup, Tom, you're killing it, bro. Great work, man. I appreciate that. Mark Caston, welcome in, and thank you for the $2 donation. That is greatly appreciated, more than anybody could ever imagine. Harvey Boy, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Poke Vibes, Rich, and Paul, thank you so much for tuning in. If it goes up, people talk good. If it goes down, people talk bad. Bunch of clowns. I just own it and hold it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're talking directly to me or the public perception, but I don't talk bad about XRP. I talk realism. Whether it goes up or down, I'm still a holder. I know when to buy. So I didn't hold. You know, the biggest complaint I get from the audience is that they hate XRP because for 3 years it's just going down. Well, that's the wrong reason to hate it. That just means we don't understand technical analysis, and you need to be sitting around even longer into this community because we sold out in 21 for this exact reason. We topped. We didn't buy back until 23 for the very reason we didn't bottom yet. See what's going on here? Now we're almost at 100% at 68 cents. 69 cents will be at 1x. So it's all about when you buy in. That's why it's all about the right timing when you talk about things as well. For me with XRP, I've talked about it for 3 years straight in 5 days without a day off. So there's no sugarcoating what I do, but at the same time, if you're in it year after year after year, when you go through a bull cycle to a bear cycle, of course everybody's going to hate it. Of course you're going to hate every YouTuber that told you to sit in it for the bear market because you could have made money in the bull cycle, even for XRP, the bear market rally, and you could have had an extraordinary setup right now. But for me, I turned 3 tokens into 13, and I turned it into $10,000 in precious metals along the way with the profits that most people lost going back down just holding. See, I play the game a little bit different than most. Herbert, thank you so much for the $2 donation as well. Yes, hit that like button, as Herbert said. I'm doing good, Paul. I'm doing good, Paul. Thank you so much. Rich Martinez says Solodex also charges 12 XRP. That's good to know as well. Let's see. Alexander, welcome in from Thailand. Appreciate seeing you in here, friend. Champ, welcome in. Hey, y'all, making money today in XRP and Chiba. Yes, indeed. Chiba's looking pretty good, too, as well. Marie, welcome in, and thank you so much for being a loyal member here, as always. Quant running nice in XRP. Yep, Quant is running as well. Excellent observation there. It always usually front runs XRP too. True, welcome in. I'm glad to see you in here, even though you're working. Long time there. Champ, welcome in from Canada. Martin, welcome. Lee Adams, I appreciate you. Does anybody know where you can trade crypto for gold? And absolutely, Scottsdale Mint. Go to scottsdalemint.com. I have no affiliation with them, but that's where I go if I trade crypto for precious metals. It's got altcoins, Bitcoin, Ethereum. You can take your pick. But Scottsdale Mint in the USA. They're one of the most recognizable dealers too in the USA. That's why I trust them. I bought countless items from them with crypto. They're only my crypto dealer if I have to use crypto. If I use cash, I go to Jam Bullion. FYI. You're welcome, Live in Riches, but that's something that I like to know about too, in case I have profits that I want to buy metals and if it's the right opportunity. So, with XRP, now that we've gotten through all of this, with XRP, we have this breakout that's starting. We held the short-term pattern resistance as support, and now that technical target instead of breaking down, because what ended up happening here, do you know anywhere in the UK I can swap for silver? I do not. I live in the USA, so I would just be speculating as far as for the UK. But if anybody in the audience knows, could you please help out our friend? So we bounce from support, resistance, boom, right? And you can even look at it like this. Started, bam, support, boom, bam, support, came back up. Now instead of hitting support again, we rallied out. Now we use the backside, resistance as support. The technical target on the breakup is up to 75.72. Now, what gave us the realism that we were bottoming here, and I've been very, very, very transparent about this. Yes, it looks like a head and shoulders pattern here. It does, and they're often disguised like this. But left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? Well, the problem with this whole setup and narrative is the fact that if you take this into the smaller time frame, I think it's pretty relevant or pretty easy to see what happened here. We came down into a left shoulder, down into a head, into a right shoulder. But does anybody realize what happened on that shoulder? Higher low. Once you created that higher low, you confirm the bottoming pattern. That's what you're looking for, a higher low on the daily. So boom, 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 and out. Everybody I said would be like, well, how did this happen? How did we not see this? If they weren't paying attention, I said we would see it because we're paying attention. We see all the optics here. That downtrending resistance on that yellow line is the handle resistance right here on the first tier. You get over this, it signals to move up to the actual handle resistance. And then a breakup of that we know is a massive breakout. But it definitely looks like a bottoming formation. And we said in the next couple of days, or whenever it decides to break up, everybody's going to say, well, how did this happen? Because it looks like a head and shoulders. It happened because it bottomed on us very quickly, and you had to pay very close attention and not let your emotion dictate what you're going to do here. Understanding as well that this area right here, the moment it bounces off of that, that signals a move all the way up here to the resistance, which we already have our validation from the pattern we just breached to the top side that has a technical move just over 75 cents. Well, this has a technical target up here that once you break through here, you come all the way up here to resistance. Well, if we get on top of this and back test this, our technical moves at $1.20. Well, the shorter time frame is already suggesting we're going to come over this if we play it true because the technical target's 75 cents. Well, if that's the case, that means we're back testing a much longer pattern. And the other thing, yeah, this is right here on the handle. But imagine what happens if we break over the 77-month consolidation. It's saying our technical target's 75.72. Does that not put us over this? And we're one back test away from a breakout. And the technical target out of the entirety of this pattern is where it gets pretty crazy and pretty unbelievable. The technical move out of this is $1.97 out of that 77-month consolidation. And this has been going on for quite some time. We had the resistance up there at $1.98 where I circled with the arrow. Took 27 months to come back down to March of 2020 down here for the support. So for 27 months, anybody who bought in was down. Getting wrecked. Wrecked. It didn't matter where you bought it, from $1.98 down to 10 cents. You were wrecked. Then it came back up on a fake out before the lawsuit was announced. Back down here. with the lawsuit to support the uptrend, came back to $1.98, swung all the way around into a big handle. We've tested it multiple times on the uptrend. Oh, no. Cornstar, that's just what the untrained eye would say, that it's a dying penny. Do you understand what it means when you're in a 77-month consolidation, a descending consolidation? I think you're blissfully unaware, but once this pattern plays out, it's going to leave everybody weeping. That says exactly, yeah, it's like a penny stock right now, but what's your excuse going to be when it's at $3.50 or $6 for not buying the penny stock when it had this kind of a setup? You're not buying it at a $3.50 or $2 or $1.60. What was stopping you from buying it at 34 cents when we were on that uptrend? Is it because your pessimistic view, your emotions, because you just have disbelief that it could actually go up? I'm just trying to understand why somebody would come in here and make just an idiotic comment. Maybe you just don't understand technical analysis, but that's going to get you burned. I would suspect, okay, well, that makes sense. Oh, you bought it at 31 cents? Okay, good. But it's not a dying penny stock. That's the illusion, friend. Yep. Exactly true. That's the thing. Why am I screaming at everybody? Well, we can already tell you that I won't recognize your comments anymore, David, but that's just, I'm glad you feel that way, but I haven't even been here for 6 years. So at least be factual in your comments. But now I'm going to continue with my technical analysis because I can see what's going to happen here. So Bitcoin is at 70,630. We talked about the bottoming pattern here as well. And I even went a step farther. I put the bottom at 60,690. I did all the work for everybody. I even put the technical breakup target. See the arrow? I did it for everybody. So you didn't even have to guess. I showed the bottoming pattern. I described why it was the bottoming pattern. I showed the higher high in the daily that confirmed it. And now the technical move up was 73,621. What happened to my 18% this weekend? Are you really that annoying? Are you really that out of touch with reality? Who said it was going to happen this weekend? It's an 18% move when you get, I'm not even going to describe it to you because obviously you're not paying attention. But it's, the technical target's an 18% move. You never put a time frame on it, friend. But I'm not going to acknowledge the ones who are just blatantly being morons. Just to tell you right now, I'm not playing that game with the audience. The ones who are trying to ruin the flow. So I've tried to give a little bit of a benefit of the doubt to the ones who are asking questions. But for the ones that are just obviously insane, I'm just going to do my own technicals. So with the actual setup here, the bottoming pattern, very simple. Put in an inverted left arm, a head, an inverted right arm, and boom. And we said, why everybody's going to say, how could this happen? And we said we would already know. To try to put a timeline on when something's going to breach just makes you sound foolish because I don't do that. So, but yeah, the 18% rally's in full effect. What happened to the 18% rally? We're in the midst of it, dummy. But that's the last obscene comment I'm going to make to you because that's how some of you make me feel. Some of you just make me feel like you're so ridiculously mind numb that you can't see a good thing in front of you. So you'd rather waste your time, try to waste my energy. And literally, what are you accomplishing right now? You're losing money. Do you know how much money I've made this morning while you're sitting here complaining on my stocks and my cryptos and my precious metals? Probably more than when you're at work today. Not because I'm special. Not because I know something you don't know, but because I put the due diligence in every day. While the US dollar is dying, we have investments that are going to help transcend into this next era. It's not just XRP. But if you really appreciate your dollar in the bank depreciating, continue to comment like a jerk off. If you really want to know what's going on and you actually want to get ahead in life, stick around and stop being a moron. This is information that you have to pay for everywhere else. I'm doing you a service. You're doing us a disservice. So that's how I truly feel like to see people that come in here. It's no different than people who talk politics. No different than people that don't understand the central banks run the world. No different than the people who don't understand currency from money. It's the same thing. But it drives me insane when somebody's willing to give you their time and you go about it wasting time. Like, you have so many options here instead of wasting time. Like, the number one detriment to society is the wasteful mindset. You're wasting time. You've only got so much time on this planet, so you're going to waste it? Doesn't make any sense to me. None. So while you're wasting your time, we're getting ahead in ways you could not even imagine. And that's the sad part. I'm here every single day, and instead of trying to learn, you're here making jokes. I mean, congratulations. You're flexing in a weird way that I just don't understand. My time's actually worth something. I wouldn't go around flexing like that, making yourself look like a whatever. Whatever you want to classify yourself as, kudos. But with Bitcoin, this technical target here, 73,621. 73,621. Oh, and for the two that were commenting, you'll never see me recognize your comment again until you straighten up. So regardless of what you say, it's not going to matter. 60,690 was the bottom. Technical move up here, 73,000, and I'm good at that. I'm really good at that. What? 73,621. 73,621 is absolutely the resistance. We've got the total crypto market cap here as well at 2.583. We're up 4.69%. And our technical move up here, as we've broken out of the outside, I've had this out here for everybody to see. Our technical short move is 2.712. Our short move down, if it would have went bad, which we didn't think it would, but you still have to have the targets. And this was a very speculative move here that it actually broke to the top. And now it looks like it's going to fill this out. So I'm not even going to keep this here because it's actually gone up now. But we know where it's going to 2.712. So 2.712 trillion. That's the total crypto market cap here. And if you break above that, then you're opening up the door for the next layers. The next layer is going to retest the 3 trillion mark. And I know what everybody knows that is. Everybody knows that's the top. That's the top of the past bull run. Working on the overall cup that we've talked about for a long time. It's going to get there eventually. Just because a lot of us or a lot of people get impatient, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. What you're seeing a massive breakout here doesn't mean it didn't happen, does it? You always get the up and down. If everything went straight up, it just comes straight down. When things come up like this, that means you have staying power, you have stability. So I hope everybody who's actually paying attention, who wants to be in this stuff, has actually paid attention since last year when I called the bottom on the retracement at 26,500 on Bitcoin. Facts are facts. Our portfolios are fact. The buying that we've bought in 200-300%, 600 on some before these rallies is a fact. You know, nobody can take that away from you. Anybody can run their mouth. But the bottom line is if you have a portfolio that you can back and you can be proud of, who cares what everybody says? Enjoy it. That's part of the fun. That's part of the fun because then you know that person isn't in on what you're on and they're getting upset. That's a good thing. You want to hear that. So XRPH, I want to get into this very quickly. I like talking about this XRP healthcare. We are attempting our first breakout here in a long time, and that's at 2.9 cents if we can back test this. If we back test this at 2.9 cents, do you see the SEC news tomorrow push the price? Actually, we're going to talk about the SEC news. Speaking of which, we will talk about this as well as I have this for us to read. Ripple versus SEC. Here's why March 26th should be the make it or break it for the XRP lawsuit. So yeah, we'll go into that in due time. We'll get into that in due time. But XRPH has a chance right now at its first breakout. And this is XRP Healthcare. I showed everybody how I started buying it from 1.9. No, I didn't hit 1.7. I hit 1.9 to 2.4 to 2.1 to 2.2 to 2 cents to 2. I haven't bought it over 2.4 yet. Like 2.44 was my highest buy. And I have just under 21,000 tokens. But it's 100 million circulating supply. It's on the ledger. It's trying to transform and transcend itself into a position for the rising digital pharmacy and digital, not just the pharmacy, but for the digital healthcare. You see when you go into urgent cares now, they want you to do it digitally instead of actually going to the doctor. This is getting out ahead of that big boom that's expected leading into capitulation in 2031. It's supposed to have a big boom between now and 2031 at its near peak. It should be by then in this new expansion into this realm of the healthcare. So I took it upon myself to try to find different things. And I did a lot of research over the years. And I waited and waited and waited. And I think I'm so excited about this one just because of how long I waited. But not just that, I've learned so much in technical analysis. I know how to buy in expansion zones. I know how to wait for the reversal candle. And I didn't buy back here when it gave the first hint. I waited for the expansion and then I went. I wish I would have bought it at 1.7, but I didn't see it at 1.7 when it hit there. The wick came down so quick that I had to wait and it was at 1.9. I didn't wait, but it's when I seen it, it had already come up. And then I went between 1.9, okay, 1.9, 2.2, 2.4, 2.4, 2.24, 2.28, whatever it is my average buy. So it's not like I've been in it that long, but I know something's happening here. Let's see. Bradley, why do I keep reading about... I didn't get to see the rest of that comment. Let's see. What else do I want to see? Oh, yeah. The charts by The Great Falling. So The Great Falling sent this in, and this is the cup and handle. This is just a more defined look. This is the handle setup. He shows the target at 79.06. There's a major resistance at 73.30. We need to break out and hold 65.5 cents as that's the 100% level. Once you get over that, it's showing a clear break to 73.30 to 79.06. And if you get above that, the price can go into the parabolic range. Once you get above the parabolic range, that means you can go parabolic when you break past that gray side. And the reason for that is the gray side, that resistance is right up at that 93.4 cent where we had the high last year in July, where we officially started the handle. We're officially started the handle. So, and there's a YouTube channel down the bottom left corner, youtube.com/@metashackle. If you want to see who created this chart, thank you for putting that on there, The Great Falling. And then...
Oh, Thomas, Bradley's comment was about a second XRP blockchain. I'll see what I can do.
A second?
Asking, why does he keep reading about a second XRP blockchain?
Oh, I don't know, Bradley, honestly. That's above my pay grade right now. I don't focus on the... I don't know. I haven't focused on any of that. I'll look into it just for you, but to me, I think that's a bunch of hogwash. We've already got our blockchain. Why would they need to create a second one? If they create a second one, it's all minute. But yeah, this is just the second part of the handle here that The Great Falling sent us the chart. As you can see on the bottom left, youtube.com/@metashackle. So take a look. But yeah, this is what we're looking at. This is the more updated handle that he put in, or that's been put in just so it's easier to determine what's going to happen. We are attempting our breakout though. So from every other chart even that are being sent into me, you can see this breakout attempt. I've just done it in a slightly different way so that you can see with the actual handle, the way it's set up in totality. This is a great way though to break it down so that it's not as confusing, honestly. But if you compare that to what I put on here, all I've done is expanded the range so you can see the entirety of this handle. That's it. It's the only difference. I broke it down for you into two different pieces. But like I said before, The Great Falling's been sending those in, so there's no reason for me to box anything in, put demand zones. I can do it on my own, just speaking to everybody. So, but showing those charts that are sending Great Falling, I can't thank you enough for that. Seriously. But as you can see, we're over this resistance. 63 cents is holding. This is signaling a move up to 75 in so many different ways. In so many different ways. I can't even describe it. It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane what's starting to build here. What else do I want to look at before I read that article? Because when I read the article, that's going to be towards the end. XLM's up 2.15% at 13.79 cents. We are teasing this breakout here as well. We know we had the bottoming. For all of them did the exact same thing. Just for transparency, every single pattern showed us that same bottoming formation from what we were watching. Made us very comfortable in our decision saying that this was about to break up. It really did. So you had the left area. This is going to be harder to see on XLM in the daily. Let me just put it in the 4-hourly. The movements are a little different. But you came down to a shoulder, head, right shoulder, boom. I mean, it's pretty obvious what happened here. Then you had the higher low. I mean, that confirmed that we bottomed. Then we broke over the resistance. Now we backed up and we're pushing off that resistance as support. Everything about this, ba-boom, 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 out. When I said everybody was going to say, how did we not see this? And I said we were going to see this because we are seeing it because we're here every single day and we understand analysis. We understand the technicals and we really don't care about what the haters say. I don't give a damn, honestly. It makes no difference to me. I've seen it a million times over when I traded penny stocks in the stock market. You'd get the crew who missed out, and then they would tell you how stupid you were for being in. And then they'd come back 6 months later talking about how you're even stupider for being in, but now it's up 600% or 200%. You know, it's the same thing. The louder the noise gets in the comments, the farther from gains these people are. Just remember that. That's the truth. So if you fit in that crowd, please continue to fill your role because it's needed. Everybody's role is needed. Just don't expect me to, you know, be transparent with you in the comments as far as talking back and forth. 27.87% move here if XLM plays this true. That's the technical move back up to the top. That's how we're going to know if we get a true resistance up here or if this pattern's flipping bullish. Yes, it is true. It is textbook movement. This is exactly what we need to happen. 63.8K gap. Nah, I don't know about that gap. We already filled it. If you pay attention to Bitcoin, we already came back down there. There is no gap down there, as far as I know. There could be on the move up. Maybe it filled it back out. But when you filled this gap, I'm not exactly sure what you mean. We came down here all the way to fill ahead. We even pushed back up to 68 and back down to 62.3. There's no way there's a gap there. It's impossible. This entire area was filled. There's no gap there. If you're talking about a gap between 66,600 and maybe where we're at now, sure, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But there's no, I don't see a gap at 66.3 at all. Not only did we come through it, we came back down past it. Then we came back up past it here again to 65.9 and consolidated all the way to 63.7. I don't know if I necessarily see a gap there or not. I mean, obviously I'm not in the smaller time frames, but just from the untrained eye, I would say no. I don't think there's a gap there. The untrained eye tells me we're going to 73, or the trained eye tells me, as I've been saying since before this move ever happened. Everybody says the big M topping reversal for Bitcoin was happened right here. It can't. I don't believe that with how far up we came that this minute, small time frame M was going to be the job. I said you have a better chance of this being a left shoulder playing up to 85 than that being ahead. I think if you have an M topping reversal, it was doing this. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. And then it could do something like that, and then it could come down if this is really meant to be. Isn't that more obvious than what it was showing? I thought so. If this is really meant to break, it has to. I thought it was going to have it just like that. And now if you think Bitcoin has to break down and consolidate, doesn't that seem more realistic than what was already in front of us? I think so. I really do. Because this would be the true bull trap here. It set us up in a bear trap at 60,000, and the bull trap could be up to 73,700. So I'm going to be watching very closely. If Bitcoin breaks this, though, we're going to 85. So that's what could form here, being realistic. And I can say this concretely because this is what I was putting up here before we ever bounced back up. I kept drawing this exact thing out. Oh, no problem, Bradley. No problem. I hopefully it helped. Hopefully that helped. But yeah, that's what I was seeing with Bitcoin. Even before it started breaking up, I could see the massive M topping reversal that could happen. I just didn't think it had happened yet. That was all. I just thought it made more sense to... I've seen these patterns so many times in different things, even in Bitcoin when it comes up like this. But again, this doesn't necessarily seem like a topping pattern when it gets up there. The fact we came down here and consolidated and put in a bottoming pattern, it's not guaranteed that this is going to stop. It's just that the first technical move is 73,621, which to me has relevance because that's right at a double top. So unless it can break over that technical move, this is telling us, at worst, you're coming up for a double top. which meant you shouldn't have gone short at 60,600. Or you shouldn't have been selling out of your cryptos until we get a double top. Yeah, on some things you might not get 100% to the top, but you're also not being flushed out in a 30% drop in some of the alts. So we're watching this and it looks great. This engulfing candle in the daily, big time. It engulfed the entire last candle wick. And now even if we consolidate here, as long as we close over 67,600 and put in a higher low than the high of the last candle. I mean, this is very bold. You can see the W now is formed. We said you wouldn't be able to see it until the right arm started pulling up. Now you can see it. I think everything here, what we were seeing, looks absolutely fantastic. There's nothing I would change here. There's absolutely nothing I would change here because we consolidated. We consolidated to get to this point. That's what I like to see. The XRP market cap's done exactly what it needed to do, up 2.61%. It even bounced off the upper support of the former formation we tried to bounce out of, and it's been doing this every single time. Every time you see wicks down like that, that's just liquidating the longs before the next move. I think a lot of people, including myself, when you have moments like this, you learn a lot. Because you start to see how the market makers really do flush the market time and time again before the rally. Time and time again. But at least when you understand the analysis, we got hints. We've got many hints here. Ba-boom, 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 boom. It's so much easier to see in the 4-hourly. Ga-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, out. I mean, it's the prototypical bottoming pattern. It is. It's so disguised as a breakdown that most people never make it out of it. But it's so obvious once it starts pulling up. But you have to have foresight into it. Just because it comes up here doesn't mean it's going to break. Just because it starts doing this doesn't mean it can't do this on a fake out. But you'll know because then it's going to come below 33.9 and then your guard's up. If it breaks below that, it's a problem because that's your pivot point now. So I think it's doing exactly what we want. I think everything is doing exactly what we want. All I will say is cautiously optimistic. We have not invalidated this head and shoulders pattern yet. The only way to invalidate that is to come up through here and break out. Otherwise, you could do just like Bitcoin, be like, oh shit, that's a big double top. Doesn't seem like it now. Left shoulder. I mean, I'm just being honest. Left shoulder. Boom. Boom. I mean, one could argue that you could see something like that if it did play out. But let it play out. You know, we can't just get over, emotional for no reason. Right now, let's let this play out. Our technical move up, if we can hold that 33.9, is 38.9 billion. And all I've said is that's how you get back to 75 cents with XRP. Market cap would have to shoot up there, and it all lines up. Yes, they have, true. Yes, I agree. Yours and my spidey senses have indeed increased, I believe. The XRP Bitcoin pairing hasn't been able to break out yet. I believe this is in tune for a massive breakout when it happens, but it's come back down to the consolidation. Does everybody see what's going on here, though? I don't think anybody... Does anybody realize what doesn't meet the eye right now for XRP price action? It's setting up to tremendously outperform Bitcoin on XRP's next pump. Look at this. Look what happened to the XRP Bitcoin pairing. It's setting up for an explosive move up. This means XRP's price is going to appreciate faster than Bitcoin. We're just coming back to retest the uptrend right now, it looks like. 913. Eventually, this looks like it's going to break out. It looks like it's going to break out eventually here. This should make everybody excited when you understand what this means with the pairing in relation to XRP and Bitcoin. This is literally flashing a massive breakout here soon. Shortly. This is going to outperform Bitcoin. Let's say it does it from 915. I'm telling you, this is signaling a nice move here for XRP. There's so many different things that are lining up for XRP. Right now, Bitcoin's exploding like we thought it would. I love seeing days like today when we talked about the bottoming pattern and how extensively we talked about it yesterday and the day before about the bottoming pattern. Oh man, I'm so happy. What is your long target on XRP looking for a short? It's impossible to give you a long target because we've got so many layers to go through. Because if I tell you a target and then you short it and then it goes up and then you were right in, you shouldn't be looking for a short target just yet. But if we get a rejection at 75 cents would be an area, obviously. If that handle rejects in that spot in the 77-month consolidation, that would be a perfect spot at 75 or 74, depending on where it's at that moment. But then the next move up, if we break bullish out of the handle, your next opportunity to go short, if it plays out true, would be around $1.21 if it comes up there, because then it would have to. So basically, if you're looking for a massive short opportunity, 65.45. Okay. You got short at. I don't know if I would necessarily like the short to play out long term here. You got to be very careful. Right now, XRP is signaling, unless we breach back below 63 cents, we're signaling a move to 75. So a short right now could end up dropping your pants here very quickly if it plays out. But what I was saying is if this handle plays out, this would be the newfound comp all the way up here. There's a chance you would come down here to form the bullish handle. So, I mean, that could be an opportunity for the shorts if we come up there to have a pretty substantial short there, because we know we're going to have to get consolidation, like 20%, unless it bounced up over 121 and then use this as support, which is possible. But yeah, right now I'd be very careful on the shorts, only because we're technically signaling a move up to 74 cents. I can only say it as many times as I can. If you're trying to do an inverse ETF on XRP Future Millionaire, you're going to get absolutely obliterated. People have tried in the past. They always tried to do the opposite of what I said, and they ended up with no portfolio. So, I mean, you can take that for what it's worth, but there's a reason why I'm standing here still. And I've grown so much in a bear market. Not just by audience, but by portfolio size. Not good betting against what we're showing you here. Even if it breaks down, this would be a catastrophic short decision. Long tail, 99% of the people who short in these kind of positions will lose everything. Sure, if you get lucky right now, congratulations, and we get a retracement. But these are not technically the areas you're looking to short. You've got everything that is telling you not to short here. Hey, you know what? From that standpoint, I guess I could see it from that perspective. But I would just be very careful, friend. Very, very careful. XDC right now is up 4.86%. XDC is breaking out now. From the short-term pattern that we had it here, XDC is breaking out. Our next target's 5.3 cents. All we needed to do was hold this little consolidation here, and we did. Now we're working our way back up. XDC looks fantastic. Nice bullish Gartley with W reversal. So we'll see. The only thing you have to watch out for, ironically, is right where it's at. Unless this is putting in a right shoulder and then a back test, just hear me out. Boom, boom, boom. If it is, you could back test here and then push out. Technically, XRP, when it first came up here, it back tested, then pushed out. So if we want to go for what XRP did, it would have probably back tested that first. Not saying it's going to, because this could very well do one of these, back test and then go out. So I'm just saying, though, if you're watching it from like what XRP did, there's a chance it could consolidate more. But this is looking very nice. Get on top of 491 as support now. I'd be very happy. You want to get on top of what looks like a right shoulder resistance. You use it as support now. You could work your way back up, even at worst in a double top scenario. You know, there's a lot of these. I know it doesn't seem like it, but when you start looking at these, there's a lot of these that could benefit, even if they're bearish by double topping and then maybe coming out. A lot of these could benefit, but let's not forget here, XDC had a massive descending consolidation. That's a massive, massive bullish consolidation that it's broken out of now. It took a very long time. And just like with XRP Healthcare, this is the expansion zone I told everybody was good to buy when it hit 396 there when I added that was a great spot to buy XTC. It was in the expansion zone and it was on the cusp of a breakout. No quicker than I told everybody to do that was what, 2 days later, 3 days later, had the breakout to 6.5, or what, 3 days? I don't know. What was this? February 27th. Actually gave a little bit of time, like 10 days, 12 days. But it went boom. You know, and it's in the blink of an eye these things happen. But the technical move is supposed to be 795 initially. Yeah, we hit the mid-tier resistance, unfortunately, that stopped us cold in our tracks. But technically, this is what you're really looking at. If you can get over 491, you're looking at 6.5 is the real big next move, in my opinion. We do have the mid-tier at, I understand this, but we're going to try to retest that if we can push up. XDC is one of the most undervalued tokens you can find. I agree with that. I agree with that. So obviously pay attention to XDC. DGB is up 2.97%, up to 1.49 cents. DGB is on the cusp of trying to signal a bigger move. We just haven't been able to get outside this area yet. And we're in the handle consolidation right now. So it is something to be said that we're consolidating. We have to. The one good thing about XDC, which I haven't shown it, but we are in the expansion zone, which I love the expansion zone because that means you can break out. If you break back down, you know, you most likely would come back down here to the uptrend. But the expansion zones are fun. It creates a new line of support on the breakdowns. So then you're looking at about 1.4. But once it breaks out of here, you're looking at a pretty big move up to 2.1. That would give us 200% from where we bought in already. As we're up a clean 100% plus right now. At 1.4 cents, we're up over 100. So it's pretty interesting with DGB. What could possibly be in the making right now. With a lot of these, H-bar's up 6.09%. A lot of room here to come up still. A lot of room. Tons of room. And now we just bring this farther back. We'll estimate it here. Because we don't know when it's going to break out or if it breaks out. But if it does break out, you're looking at a big move. And we already know this is on a bullish handle that we broke out of. That we're consolidating with, not broke out of, but we're consolidating in with the H-bar. H-bar can really push you up. Can really push you up. I mean, XRP, that's funny that you should mention 5 years out. Because if XRP plays true out of these patterns, obviously we won't know where it goes in 5 years. But you do know, for anybody who's a skeptic or anybody who's a lover of XRP, that is playing out that W that I've put in here. If this plays out to $1.97, look what that ends up playing. Yes, it can go up to $1.21 as well. And look what it would be pushing. I mean, when you start pushing up out of here from that 77-month consolidation, you could form the biggest W I've ever seen in crypto. From the start of an asset's breakout to the next move. If this does it like this, it's done it 100% by the book. And everybody who bitched and moaned and complained and played the victim and said XRP did something bad to them, yada, yada, you know, whatever the case may be, every single person is going to reap those moments because they too could have understood technical analysis, sold the tops, and continued consolidating over this grand journey, especially after 21 when it got back to the uptrend, the true uptrend that's been sitting there for years and years and years. If we just paid attention, we could all be in this together. But I think a lot of people would rather just tell us how XRP is a loser, why XRP can't do. I mean, if you're asking me how to consolidate through something for big gains, hello? When was another chart you've seen look like that? Not even the fact that this isn't even that it failed, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even that it's, well, if you'd rather they be gone, it means that you mistimed your buys, and I feel bad for you in that regard, but don't play the victim, sir. You play the victim, you continue to play the victim in life, and before you know it, you become a victim. When you're just relying on the government or somebody else to tell you what to do, you don't want to go down that road. Be your own person. Look, instead of going up, we consolidated just like you should have for a W reversal. I mean, it's unbelievable how this pattern's actually playing out. And then it would do something like that and then swing. I mean, if this plays out true, yes, I'd rather all the pessimists be gone to true. But, you know, I don't kick anybody out. I don't kick anybody out because, you know, everybody's got their own opinion. But it's also an indictment on me. If I'm reacting in a poor way, that means I'm not past it. You know? That's all I need to see for myself. I can watch the way I react from 21 to 24. That's all I need to know about my growth. I can look at the portfolios of not just my own, but the community. That's how I can tell our growth. I can tell somebody who's in it to win it and compared to somebody who's in it to kind of just be a schlub. That's fine. There's ways for the schlub in society, but I prefer not to be a schlub. I also prefer not to work for anybody. So if I want to do this, I've got to do it at a minute level or a finite level, because for all intents and purposes, before I started YouTube, and YouTube does bring, compensation with the people in Tom's Army and the ones who send donations. And I'm not big enough yet to reap the rewards of the ad revenue to any greater length than $700 or $800 a month, which is still fine. That's still added income. But what I'm saying is, if it wasn't for my trading, I wouldn't be able to live. I haven't worked for somebody in years, even before I started YouTube, because I figured out how to trade. It's the greatest thing I ever did because it gave me freedom. It's what I'm trying to do for everybody else. If everybody thinks I'm trying to capitalize off each and every one of you, don't you think the number one thing I would have did was charge for my content? I mean, come on, let's be realistic here. I could make so much more money if I had just like everybody else behind a paywall. I'm not in it for the money in that regard for YouTube. My portfolio, yes. But each and every one of you, if you want to send a donation, that's greatly appreciated. If you want to join Tom's Army, awesome. But outside of that, there is no financial compensation that you have to give to learn any of this. And that's what makes this great. I don't charge for classes. I don't charge for any because I want everybody to build a portfolio. I used to be where some of you are watching me right now are at your lowest of lows. I used to be there not too long ago. Technical analysis changed it all for me, not YouTube. YouTube almost ruined it for me because everybody I asked on YouTube would lie to me. Everybody I tried to ask for help on YouTube that was an influencer tried to make me charge for some stupid course that wouldn't even resonate. I didn't have the skill set, so what the hell does it matter? So that's why I do what I do. That's it. That's it. Some people can say I'm underpaid, which is fine, but I'm not, because I have an audience now. Sometimes the form of payment is getting those people to watch. That's all. So, take the advice from what I'm trying to give you. I'm going to end this here shortly. If you are trying to trade crypto, look in the pinned comments below, video description for BITUNIX. That's how I found it easiest to trade. Simple as that. No one's telling me to say it. That's what I found last July. I got pissed at Uphold because in high times of volatility, it kept going down. We did a very big case study with BITUNIX over a 7-month period. And I finally said, you know what? What the hell am I doing on Uphold? Spending all this money, even though I have stuff on Uphold. But if it's apples to oranges, I'm not going to keep pissing my money away. So it'd be unethical for me not to talk about it to my audience. So if I do bring it up once or twice during my 1 hour, an hour and a half live, so be it. That's my choice. I'm standing behind something. If you want me to promote something that you're going to lose money on, I can do that too. But I don't feel comfortable doing that because guess what? I wouldn't use it. Ripple versus SEC. Here's why March 26th could be make it or break it for the XRP lawsuit. And truth be told, a lot of people don't like to trade on exchanges that make you use a VPN. Sorry, I don't. I also don't want to have to be forced into a KYC if I don't need to. I'd rather send funds from another exchange to an exchange and not have to go through all the BS and red tape. So that's the reason I talk about it. I should try to sign a contract with them, though, shouldn't I? I should go to them and say, make me exclusive. Pay me some money to do this. It's probably not a bad idea, Sean, but then I got to do it for 7.5 minutes each time I do it. It's 17 times every update. Ripple versus SEC. Here's why March 26th could be make it or break it for the XRP lawsuit. Thank you so much, Mary, for the $2 donation. For the $2 donation. I never doubted you, Tom. Can you repost your original XRP video? I mean, it's if you go to my videos and you go to my YouTube channel, you go to my videos and you go to the most popular, just switch it to most popular. That's my very first video that got 13,000 views. That's the video, my very first one. But yeah, I can repost it at some point, but I don't generally like to repost. I'd rather just have people go back. Maybe I could put the link in here on my next live. Oh, you want me to get paid? Well, on the first one, I'm not going to get paid anyhow. I don't have ad revenue on that one. I never turned it on. Because I used, the reason I didn't turn it on and I could have got away from it, but I used from X Infinity. You guys all remember him from YouTube. He doesn't do videos anymore that I know of, but I used something from his to help promote his station as well. And I never turned the revenue on for that one because I didn't want to cut into his. It's a whole big thing with YouTube. So I kind of just gave the visuals for him, and his channel grew to a couple thousand after that video too, once it started. So it's pretty cool. Tom, if you were to put an amount of money down right now, what would you choose? What would I choose? That's a hell of a question because everything's moved up a little bit here. If you would have asked me a week ago, I would have said XRP Healthcare. Or WAXP, I would have said. But now that's up from 7 cents. If I'm just looking at what's undervalued here, and this doesn't mean it's going to happen. If I'm looking at what's undervalued and I'm being honest, probably XDC. XDC has not made this move at all. I know it's up 4.8% today. XDC's undervalued. Flare's not a bad idea. Flare's not a bad idea because you get the monthly 4.2% airdrops just for outside in the back, Scarlett, just for having the for having it in your account. Filecoin's it was up to 9 last time. Yeah, Filecoin would have been great when it was a little bit. Not saying that it's not the best buy. I'm just saying from what I see in front of me. AMP definitely doesn't look bad. But I was in on AMP at, what, 0.49 cents, just under half a cent. And then I got out at 1.7 cents. I don't even know where it's at now, to be honest with you. I got to fix some of these to put back up because when I switched my watch list over, I didn't realize when I put the small cap in for XRP Ledger with the healthcare that I actually deleted a whole section of stuff I was watching. So I'll have to add all that back up. But let me read this because I got to go. We'll be back tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll continue this conversation. It's so important. I hope everybody got something out of this live. So did I, Sean. I did too as well. I had so many fees and all pulled over. Well, you have way more. You're much more well off financially. You've done a great job in life. The highs and lows, but you've come out ahead, my friend. So let's do the story highlights real quick. March 26th. Casper is not a bad idea either, as I have Casper as well in my portfolio. All of these that we own. The only problem is they're all up. A lot of these are up a lot, so I'm kind of putting it on something that I think has a little bit of ways to catch up. That's why I said XDC right off the bat. But it is, like I said, it's up 4.8% today. So anything you buy now could be down 5 to 10% immediately. But I love Casper as well, CSPR. So let me just read this and then I'll be out. March 26th marks a pivotal date in Ripple's battle with the SEC over XRP status. As it says, Ripple versus SEC. Here's why March 26th could be make it or break it for the XRP lawsuit. SEC submitted remedies-related briefs documents on March 22nd, with the revised revision expected March 26th. Despite legal turmoil, XRP holds, and it's now above that. In the crypto world, few clashes have garnered as much attention as the ongoing dispute between Ripple Labs and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. At the heart of this legal tussle lies the question of XRP's regulatory status, a debate that has kept the industry on edge. As tensions amount, all eyes are on the key date, March 26th, which could prove to be a make-it-or-break-it moment for Ripple and its native token XRP. Recently, James K. Phelan, Ripple's defense lawyer and a former federal prosecutor, took to Twitter to underscore the significance of March 26th. In cryptic tweet, he hinted that a major development in the legal battle sending ripples of speculation through the community. James K. Phelan's official X verified XRP community SEC Gov versus Ripple XRP. The SEC has filed under seal its opening remedies related brief and supporting documents. These documents are not public yet. Public redacted versions will be filed no later than Tuesday, March 26th. So we're finally going to be able to see what they're hiding behind, at least what they want us to see, because it's been redacted, which means we can't see everything, which is why I'm so irritated as an XRP holder, because as a holder, I have a right to know what's going on as a technical stakeholder in Ripple. By circumstance, somebody can argue, but it's true. So you have every right to know what's going on in Ripple's legal battle because you are a holder of XRP. Believe it or not, you do have rights. So this redacted bullshit is kind of hindering what we're supposed to be able to see. That's my opinion. The brief for opening remedies is key in outlining the SEC's legal and financial demands against Ripple Labs, setting the stage for a high-stakes legal showdown. The key dates we're looking at was March 22nd when they submitted. 25th is the closed-door meeting between Ripple and SEC, and because it's a non-disclosure, whatever they want to do it's hide behind closed doors. They won't tell us. We won't know what's happening, and then they'll release us some bullshit redacted version tomorrow that we're not even going to be able to see what we really want to see. So expect a lot of blackened out sections that we won't even be able to see. So the stuff we can't see is what we want to see, and the stuff we can know, we don't even need to know. So the bottom line is the stuff we need to know, they're not going to show us, and the stuff they show us, we don't even need to know. That's the BS part of this whole thing. So tomorrow is the public release of the revised SEC document. April 22nd is Ripple's deadline to respond to the lawsuit. April 23rd to 24th is an intensive discussions on Ripple's response. May 8th of this year is deadline for SEC's response. So basically tomorrow is not a make it or break it day. It's just a fancy way to get people to watch. But it does tell you then the direction. But it's from a redacted standpoint. So if you ever see when the government releases redacted files, hell, if you play your favorite video games back in the day, even today, like, well, that's not the favorite anymore, Call of Duty, but they used to even show like the classified and show the blackened out, especially on Black Ops for anybody who's showing their age, the first Black Ops. In the classified, it always shows blacked out. That's what redacted means. It's going to redact what we can't see. I don't want anything redacted. I want to see I own this. I own this. You know, I own this, what I call commodity. So I would love to know what's actually going on, not be lied to. Despite regulatory uncertainty, XRP remains resilient with marginal volatility. It's currently trading at, now it's up at 65 cents. So it was up 16% over the last month, now up about 22%, reflecting investor confidence amid the legal turbulence. So thank you all so much for tuning into this live. I got to go. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Hopefully I was able to set you in the right direction and come back at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight to continue this. But I did see somebody talk about silver. Silver's at 24.67. It's on its breakout move. We're coming up to our technical first resistance. Right here. This is our technical big resistance at 26.40 on this move. Actually, you know what? No. I never updated this. I never updated this. I was doing it from a different perspective. Let's shorten this a little bit. It's not much difference, but it is a difference nonetheless. This is your technical target is $27.65. If this plays true, which it should. And that's the first target. That is not the long target. The long target is $39.59 if that plays true, but it can't be the mid-tier target because silver, in my opinion, is working on a cup. So until we get up here, I would say our big resistance is going to be around this area, in my opinion. So probably up to 35 bucks is where we're going to go if we can get up over 27.65. At some point, we're going to get up there. Have a blessed afternoon, everybody. We'll continue talking tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Precious metals are looking good. We've been making pretty good money on metals right now. Especially if you bought into gold when we talked about it at 1,600 after we made the extraordinary gains in 21. In 22, we bought gold. We bought silver when it was at 16, 17, 18. The amount of wealth you could have built up through cryptocurrency right now is extraordinary. If we do it right, we're all going to succeed in a way we can't even imagine. Have a blessed afternoon. And if you made it until the end, hashtag be better.